Okay, I have a really exciting video today. We are going over all of the changes that have happened, all the updates for Google local service ads in 2025 and the end of 2024 since the last video that I did. And at the end, I'll share a free automation that you can use to automate your message reply response speed and get Google to think that you're responding within seconds every single time so that they rank you even higher. So stay tuned for that free gem. First off, everyone was freaking out earlier this week when Google said they were getting rid of the Google Guaranteed badge. A lot of people misunderstood the email that Google sent out. They're not getting rid of local service ads. It's all just combining to Google Verified badge is what it's called now, instead of Google Guaranteed or Google Screened or Google Verified and all the other different things that they had for every single different industry. The only big change is that the insurance, the guarantee part of Google Guaranteed is going away. So if you mess up on a job, your insurance has to cover it. And Google's guaranteed insurance isn't going to cover anything. And this policy isn't going to happen until October 20th. So you still got a bit of time before you notice the badge change. But a lot of, there's some panic that I saw some people, that was all just a misunderstanding. It's no actual Google Guaranteed going away. LSA is still here to stay. And it's like one of Google's most profitable new ventures that they've had. So they're definitely going to be ramping this up, not ramping it down. Next thing is there's no new categories this year. It's kind of sad. I feel like 2024 was so exciting for local service ads because every other month they were opening up a new industry. They added solar, they added bathroom and kitchen remodeling underneath general contracting. They added insulation, they added auto detailing. It was so exciting because all those different businesses, as soon as you open up a new category in that area, you would get super cheap leads. That hasn't been the case this year. Google kind of put a break on opening up new industries for whatever reason. Another change that happened at the very end of last year was the request a competitive quote. That was kind of controversial. Everyone was freaking out at first because they realized that it's a shared lead. They thought, oh, Google Local Service Ads is an exclusive lead that I have to pay for. I can pay for. It's not like Angie List or Home Advisor where it's shared leads. But then they came up with this request a competitive quote feature, which they don't do for every single industry still. It's mostly for high competition industries where people tend to price shop, like HVAC, carpet cleaning, window cleaning, plumbing, roofing. Those industries trigger it more often than others, but it's not all the time. Actually, it's kind of rare that you find these in the wild. I was trying to find it right now just before the video, and I couldn't find one. So I'll just show you the one that Search Engine Land shared earlier. This is from their article about it. Basically, it looks like this. So request a competitive quote, and then it will message 4 businesses at once. And then the way you can get in the competitive quotes is you have to be one of the people who responds quickly to messages, and then Google will send it to you. You'll see here, Google selects 4 top-rated pest control technicians near you who typically reply in 30 minutes or less. And that will say different numbers depending on the average in your area. So if you're in an area that is really competitive, it will say 15 minutes or less or minutes or less. And so, yeah, if you've never gotten any of these, it's probably because your response score sucks on messaging, and so you have never been the top ranking people. Let me show you what it looks like on the other end, though. Inside of the leads, when you're managing it, if you go to message leads, let me show you what it looks like. Google always shows this. Notes from LSA. This customer has requested a quote. This customer has also messaged other businesses. That means that it was a shared lead from this platform. An interesting thing, though, is Google refunds these leads a lot. They never announced that they were going to do this, and it's never like I haven't seen anyone else ever talking about this, but it's just a trend that I've observed. Like this lead is credited, and we responded within seconds to this lead, and so it's not like we weren't. I was thinking at first that the trend would be Google refunds the other businesses that didn't get the lead. Like the first person that responds, they get charged the lead, the other 3 get refunded. But even when we respond within minutes, we're still getting refunded a lot of the time. I'm not sure why that is, but a lot of these message leads that are the shared leads especially do get credited for whatever reason. So it's kind of nice, to be honest, because Google is like charging 4 different companies for this message lead, so they should be. They shouldn't be charging them anyways, but since if they refund us, then I can't complain too much about it. And so you'll see a lot of those message leads get credited, and it's because they were shared lead. Another change that happened in November of 2024 was Google connected LSA to the GBPs. You'll notice when you logged in, they prompted you multiple times until you did it. It looks like, let me just pull it up. So when you go to business verification, they were going to ask you to connect the GBP. Only the owners of the GBP could connect it. If you're a manager, you weren't able to, so you had to ask the owner to do it. And that happened in November. If you don't connect it, then your ads will go off. Honestly, I think this was a good change because it prevented people from having multiple LSA accounts in the same area, because since you now have to have a verified business profile in order to run ads. The thing that really sucks with this, though, is if your GBP gets suspended, it's specifically a hard suspension. If you're a soft suspension, your ads will stay live. But a hard suspension, your LSA ads will also get down, which really sucks because then your GBP is down, you're not being found organically from SEO, your call volume drops, and then also your ads go down at the same time. It's like kick you while you're down type scenario. So I just wanted to warn people, it's more important than ever to make sure that you are on top of making your GBP not get suspended and just having the documents ready to re-verify it. And fix do the appeal process. So you should always have your, LLC documents in line, your lease for your offices, get your Secretary of State website registered to have your actual address, because all of those things are what Google will ask for if you get a suspension on your GBP. And if you have those in order, then you can quickly fix it. And then your LSA will also go up really quickly. Also, I think it's just something to be said about like diversifying your marketing efforts. Like I personally run Bing ads a lot. I also like to run Facebook ads, Google PPC, SEO. It's just nice to have multiple channels of marketing so that you don't rely just on LSA and GBP, because both of them are combined and they both go away at the same time. It could really hurt a business and make them close down. Another quick change that happened, this was in April of this year. Google updated their policies. Honestly, no one actually read it, I'm sure. If you do want to read it and understand, if you just search for what these policies mean for you, they have little summary sections at the end of everything. It was actually kind of interesting. The only thing that was, there's a couple things that I'll mention from this. So one, you're not supposed to advertise the Google Guaranteed badge as part of your branding. So like if you have it as a trust badge on your website saying, hey, we're Google Guaranteed, Google doesn't like that. I haven't seen them actually come after anyone about it, but it's technically against their policies. Another one is you're not supposed to sublease or use subcontractors, especially lead sharing. Like if you're getting leads for a job through LSA that you don't actually do and you just send it to a partner business, Google hates that. They will come after you and they'll shut down your entire account when they find out. So definitely don't do that. And then another one that I thought was really interesting was the photos. They mentioned that they can crawl your website and find photos on the website and use them in your ads. I haven't actually seen them do that at all, but it was in the policy update. So be aware of that, I guess. And it's also is nice to see that Google is crawling the websites as for local service ads, because that makes me think that maybe the websites will eventually have more impact upon rankings for LSA. Like if you have location pages, maybe it will help expand proximity and ranking you better in those locations. I haven't seen any correlation at all so far. A lot of other SEOs claim like, oh yeah, when I do more branded CTR campaigns, it's going to help my LSA. Nah, I haven't seen anything. So don't believe them so far. Maybe in the future it will be like that though. Hopefully, because my clients are killing it in their organic SEO, so it would be really nice if automatically your LSA improves as well. A big change that happened with the rankings for LSA was July 11th. They had this huge update about. It's not really a big deal, honestly. I thought it was going to be a very small thing. It's just that Google phased out their Google verified reviews. So the option to request reviews inside of the LSA platform, and they just use the GBP reviews now. And that's been a long time coming, but I didn't expect it to be such a large ranking shift. If you go back on your local service ads account and look in your report dashboard, if you notice a large change or drop in lead volume, like if you're on average getting 3 to 4 leads a day and all of a sudden you're getting 2 or 1 after around July 11th, then that means that you were heavily impacted by this update. And the reason I think that it was so dramatic was because, in my opinion, at least from what I've seen, it seems like the reviews lost their weight in rankings for LSA. So it used to be like when you got Google verified reviews, your LSAs would rank better. Now they just like completely removed that ranking. And it's not like they replaced it with Google GBP review weighted ranking factor. So like if I'm getting a review every single day on my GBP, it's not really impacting my LSA that much. And from what I've seen, at least. Also, the review volume doesn't seem to matter quite as much. I'm seeing more people with less reviews ranking higher in LSA than I did before. So that could be one of the reasons why your LSA started tanking, is just because the review changes in the algorithm. Oh, the other like kind of sad thing is for Google verified reviews, I really liked having them because it used to show on there, it would say Google verified review inside of the GBP, which was nice and it looked cool. And then they also had a different dispute process too. So they had like, you could use the LSA form where you submit to LSA support to get rid of the reviews if it was a negative review, which that doesn't work anymore since they no longer have the LSA reviews. If you do want that form though, this is the form. Let me share it. I'll add all these links at the bottom. Support Google local service as /get help. You can still use this form for other things, just not getting rid of reviews. Another change that's kind of sad is the $500 promotion ad credit has gone away. It used to be automatic. Every time you set up the local service ads account and finish the Google Guaranteed, Google would send you an email saying, here's your $500 promotion code, and you would apply it to your account. And then after you spent $500 in ad spend, the next $500 would be free as long as you do it within 90 days. That's changed. It now is no longer automatic. You have to opt into it. So when you're setting up a new account and you go to Google and you type in local service ads, the initial profile or page, you see here, it'll say, your $1,000 in ad credit is ready to be claimed. If you scroll down, you can see different options. So it actually usually shows $2,500 up here. I don't know. Oh yeah, just because I had selected 1,000. But they're usually pushing this one. I actually don't recommend clicking the $2,500 ad credit because this is a lot harder to redeem. The reason is you have to spend, like you see here, you spend $5,500 in ads in the first 60 days to unlock the credit. That means you have to spend a total of $8,000 over, it's really over 3 months, not 60 days, because the first $5,500 has to be spent in the first 60 days. And then after that, if you spend $2,500 for the next 30 days, then you're good. But that's really hard to do with a new account, especially in a really competitive industry. Like if I open up a LSA in Dallas, Texas, it's going to be really hard to get enough leads to be able to spend that amount of ad spend. Even though the cost per lead might be high, you're not going to be able to get enough volume to be able to spend that much. And then in really low competition areas, you have the opposite problem. Like if I open up a auto detailing shop, I might get 20 leads a day, but the leads cost, $5-10. And so I'm not going to be able to spend $8,000 in ad spend. So it's much safer. I mean, it kind of depends on your situation and where you are, but I can give you more specific advice if I know what market you're setting up your account in. But in general, I would say do the $1,000 credit, then you're much safer because you can spend $1,500 in the first 60 days pretty easily, and then your next $1,000 will be free. So make sure that you claim this before you set up your new account. The next thing isn't a huge deal. It's not really a large change. It's just Google's been really weird in their emails recently. I don't know why, but Google's been sending emails to local service ad accounts that are for PPC accounts. So it's for like search ad recommendations, but they're sending to LSA accounts for some reason randomly. It's not for all of my clients, but just a couple of them. And it's very confusing if the client it can be easily confused. If you see this and you say, oh, I'm not following the best practices, I should enable your recommendations, you're going to go and you're going to click, and then you're going to accidentally set up a PPC account connected to your LSA account, and then you're going to follow all these stupid recommendations, which are horrible. You should not follow these recommendations. Even if you are doing PPC, you should never enable Google's automatic updates and recommendations, because they're just going to try to get you to spend money on all these random campaigns that do not convert into actual leads. So never do that. Even if you were doing PPC, don't do it. Doing it for LSA, ignore these emails. There's a bunch of them. Let me find some other ones. There's ones about enabling recommendations, start measuring conversions, all sorts of different ones that have came out in the last week or two. So if you got those, ignore them, please. They're not for you. I don't know what Google's doing. Even if you're getting these for PPC, contact us instead of believing anything Google emails you about PPC, because usually they give you bad advice. They're just trying to get you to spend more money. All right, now we're over all the big changes that Google's made and into the section about how to rank better. And this is kind of a hack that is I'm still testing it. I don't know for sure if it's an actual ranking hack or not, but I've done it 3 times now, and all 3 of the accounts that I've done it for have increased in rank and gotten more leads and even improved the quality of leads somehow. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but quick story on how it happened and like a little bit of background. So we had this account and their ads showed everything green like this, and their ads should have been live. It says they're live, but their ads were just not getting any leads at all. And we didn't know why. I went into the I went in onto the Google Ads side of things, because every LSA account actually has a Google Ads PPC account as well. Connected to it. They're just separate logins. The way to do it is go to billing, and then it will say here, your billing configuration can only be managed in Google Ads, and it will send you a link to Google Ads. That's one of the ways to access it. You could also just go to the link directly, ads.google.com, and then sign in. But when you're in this view, then it shows complete advertiser verification. It has a little arrow. It didn't say anything on the local service ad side of thing. And so how are you supposed to know? So this, if your ads aren't working, check this out, because this could be the potential cause that your ads stopped working. And you have to go in here and click get started. If you don't have this flag, you can go here to on the bottom left corner inside of billing, click advertiser verification, and then you can optionally just do this even if it's not asking you to do it. And that's what I recommend doing, because after we did the initial advertiser verification, because sometimes it's in multiple steps. So first time they asked us for a few documents, we submitted the documents, it approved us, and his ad started ranking really, really well. He texted me, he's like, hey man, I don't know what you did, but we're closing tons of deals from LSA right now. And I was like, oh, heck yeah. So that was the first time I thought that maybe the advertiser verification actually impacts the LSA rankings, which it shouldn't by all logical means. It shouldn't really impact it, because when we do advertiser verification for PPC, it doesn't really impact the rankings of the ads account. But right now, the correlation that I'm testing and what I'm seeing so far is when you do advertiser verification, I'm seeing a ranking increase and a lead increase. So I encourage you, if you'd like to test it out, test it out. I think maybe in the future, Google is going to require other LSA accounts to pass advertiser verification. So might as well get ahead of the curve and just take it. It's not very hard to do. It is one of those things that's a little bit hard to teach you how to do, because it's different every single time. There's a lot of different things that they ask for in advertiser verification. There's this document, you can read about it. There's all sorts of different documents that they could ask for, and yeah, they'll just tell you. And then you have to kind of keep on top of it, because even after you pass it once, they might ask you for more documents, which is what happened in this case. We sent 2 documents in, and then they passed us. Our ads went live, and then they said, hey, actually, we want a couple more. And so now they're asking us for, an LLC document, and then identification for the owner themselves. And then I got to submit that. And don't click start verification until you actually have all this stuff ready. You don't want to mess up the program. But I'd recommend doing that. It's worth trying. And if you do it and it does increase the rankings, or even if it doesn't, please reach out and let me know, because I'm all about trying to get data. And it's sometimes hard to convince clients to do optional stuff like this, because it's a little bit of a hassle, but I think it's worth testing and seeing to see if it'll improve the rankings. A couple of other quick tips that I think are still super important is, of course, you need to be managing the leads properly. I made a whole video about that previously. In short, just make sure that you're marking everything as booked or archiving if it's a bad lead, and rating every single lead. That's super, super vital. It only takes a few seconds to do. If it's a good lead, click very satisfied. If it's a bad lead, click very dissatisfied. You're leaving money on the table by not doing this. I cannot seriously understand why people don't do this. It's so, so important. It helps you ranking better. Google takes it into account for the disputes. That's the only way you can dispute now. So if you get a bad lead, you need to be doing this. Otherwise, they're not going to refund you as much as they should be refunding you. So please, 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 whoever your receptionist is, whoever the business owner is, everyone should be checking this at least once a day, making sure that the leads are updated. A quick way to check is if you just go into the leads and check new, make sure there's nothing in new. There should never be anything new, because it means it's missed messages, missed calls. Active, you should really only have active in there for a few days. It's things that you're actively trying to follow up with. Booked is everything else. You're booking the appointments. Completed, archive is all the bad leads, and then the feedback is self-explanatory. A couple other ranking tips are related to photos. You definitely, I've talked about this so many other times in other videos, you always need to have photos of branded vehicles, branded stuff, and team photos. Faces is really what they want. If you search any competitive industry, you're going to see the top ranking local service ad accounts have photos of people's faces, portrait photos, team photos, branded vehicles. That's what Google wants to see. That's what people want to see. That's what you need to do. If you don't have photos of your team, get a photo shoot right now. It's worth the money. It will help your branding so much, and it will help your LSA ads improve a ton by just having some good photos. Branded vehicles, branded people, that's what you need. Okay, now you have what everyone's been waiting for, the trick on optimizing for response time of messages. This is one of the hardest things to get clients to do. They're usually good at answering the phone, but not good at logging into the LSA dashboard to respond to messages on a timely basis. The thing that we figured out is that anytime you go in your settings and you add an email to the account access, you can choose who gets email notifications for new message leads. Google always sends an email from the same email address, awexpress.google.com. So I set up an automation that just replies to every email from that email in end-to-end. I'm oversimplifying it, but that's basically what it does. And so within seconds, as soon as someone reaches out to us, we send this response. Hi, thanks for reaching out. We received your message and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. If there's anything else you'd like to share in the meantime, feel free to reply here. And just by doing that, that's telling Google that you're responsive and you can respond really, really quickly. And then that takes the pressure off. Like, of course, you need to still call the person and book the appointment as soon as you possibly can. But if you're, take 15 minutes to get to that lead, it's not penalizing you and showing in your ads that you take 15 minutes to respond. They're going to show, they reply in minutes. And so that's going to, over 60 days, that's going to improve your average response time score and it will increase your rankings. And I have this automation. This is what I built in end-to-end. I overcomplicated it a little bit because I use a Google Sheet of all my clients with their ad account IDs and stuff, and I write customized messages and turn them on and off and stuff. But I can give you a simplified version of this that doesn't have any of the Google Sheets or anything. And you can just connect end-to-end to your email and then run the automation template that I share, and it will set up that auto reply, which is super helpful. And not until Google allows local service ads to connect to any CRM or have an API to connect to Go High Level or House Call Pro or all these other CRMs that people use to manage their leads. This is the next best workaround. At least you're telling Google that you can reply quickly, even if you are not able to automate the closing the deal or the actual adding a chatbot or anything yet. That's the next step. Hopefully we'll be able to figure that out sometime soon too. But yes, thanks for sticking around to the end. That was really exciting. Let me know if you have any other insights or things that you've noticed changing in local service ads this year. It's really interesting because Google doesn't always announce everything they're doing. So you have to just analyze lots of accounts. That's why I really like being able to audit so many different profiles. I like it when people reach out asking me to audit their account and figure out why it's not working, because then I get more data. I get to see, oh wow, these accounts are working really well. I wonder why, and figure out and understand these things. That's all the changes for local service ads in 2025. Let me know if you have any other questions. Happy to do free audits for LSA or any other marketing, Facebook ads, Google ads, Bing ads, website design, anything really related to branding, ranking and AI automations. We do it all. So don't hesitate to reach out. Happy to give free advice and take a look at what you have going on.